Good evening and welcome along to the Premier League of Darts night 13, and it's Birmingham and the Utilita Arena. Mark Wilson, Chris Mason and Chris Murphy with you. Thanks for joining us on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. Good evening, Chris, are you well?
I am very well, Wills. Good evening, everybody. Yep, just back from Austria, Graz, for the latest Euro Tour, so well rested and ready to go.
Yeah, and so most of this field will be well rested as well, because quite a few of them didn't make it out to Graz at the weekend.
Yeah, it's one of those. Have you been there before?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, you got to fly. Well, I flew into Munich and then Munich on to Graz. So all in all, it took about 7 hours to get there. It was actually quicker for me to go back to Gambia than go to Graz, but it was well worth it. Even with the big stars missing, the Premier League players chose to either just have a night off, or a weekend off, should I say. A few of them went off to do a few exhibitions in Scotland, so there was no Littler there, no Humphries, no Price, no MVG, no Rob Cross. Dobey, Bunting and Aspinall did go, but unfortunately neither of them got anywhere near the trophy.
No, they didn't. Speaking of getting near the trophy, we're getting to quite a serious bit now. We're into the final quarter of the season, just 4 more rounds remain, including tonight. Next week they'll be at Leeds, then Aberdeen, and we close off the weekly rounds at Sheffield, week 16, before London and the O2 away in the playoffs at the end of May. The two Lukes, not guaranteed, but not far off it. Luke Littler, top of the pile, 30 points. Humphries 26, then it's Price on 27, Aspinall and Van Gerwen on 17, Cross on 14, Dobey on 12 and Bunting on 8. Feels like we've been in last chance saloon for a while for Dobey and Bunting, but I think we are now there. If they don't win tonight, then they're pretty much done, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The two Lukes are pretty much home and hosed for me. Mathematically, of course, they could be dislodged from P1 and P2, but in terms of qualification, they're as good as there. The only position I think is possibly up for grabs, and it was a position that we both called very, very early in this campaign, and that was position 4, the final qualification spot, because Gerwyn Price is on 20 points, 3 ahead of Aspinall and MVG, and Rob Cross is on 14. For me, Rob Cross is going to need a win, isn't he? And then consolidate that win with some possibly a couple of finals.
Well, Rob Cross and Michael Van Gerwen, the only two players who haven't yet won a weekly a title, if you like, on the Premier League of Darts in 2025, and both, as you said, could do with one. Michael Van Gerwen, multiple winner of this event, is in danger of missing out, isn't he?
Yeah, and again, it's not something that will surprise us. If you look at Littler's tournament average, just a shade over 103. Humphries just a shade under 100. But Gerwyn Price in position 3 has got a tournament average of 97.24. Look at Rob Cross, he's got an average of just shy of 99, and he's not in a qualification position. So yeah, the MVG thing, he just blows too hot or too cold. There's no in between within him anymore. There's no B game. It's non-existent. We're seeing him have averages in the 80s, which is something I never thought I would see certainly in my time watching him. So yeah, but then he's just as likely to turn up and win a night as we've seen, with the kind of stuff he's been doing on the Euro tours. And
I was going to say, he's had a win, hasn't he, on the European tour in the last couple of weeks. So
and that came from absolutely nowhere, though.
But it was him at his brilliant best. He was outstanding, wasn't he, across the weekend?
Yeah, literally across the whole tournament. Tournament average of in excess of 100.
Yeah, well over 100 as well. Tonight then, Luke Littler takes on Stephen Bunting, Nathan Aspinall against Chris Dobey, Luke Humphries against Gerwyn Price, and we round off the quarter-final stage, Rob Cross against Michael Van Gerwen. That pretty much a shootout, you feel, if you want to get in those top 4 positions. I know there are another 3 weeks left, Chris, but you don't want to be going into the last couple of rounds needing favours from other people.
No, and it's not like a normal tournament. This is meant to be the best 8 players in World Darts, so there's no favourable draws, so you can't rely on thinking, well, he might get knocked out and I might get an easy game, and I'll be up and running and that ain't going to happen. Literally, and the added pressure with only 3 weeks to go after tonight, that will play its part as well. So I think tonight is a key night.
Mentioned for the opening game of the night, it is Luke Littler against Stephen Bunting. I was talking to you. I know you're a numbers boffin. You like your numbers, and I gave you some numbers earlier on. I'm going to read them out for the listener tonight. This is the last 5 meetings between Luke Littler and Stephen Bunting, and all 5 of these have been played in the last 4 months. So this is recent form. 99.55, 107.59, 109.98, 102.15, 106.43, 101.39, 111, 104.89, 105.48 and 100.1. Just one of the 10 in effect 10 players in those meetings under 100, and that was only 0.45 under.
Yeah, and one of those guys is at the top and the other one's at the bottom. Riddle me this. Yeah, it's remarkable, isn't it? Bunty's just walked into it, hasn't he? You know, he can't sort of say, "Oh, my form's been poor," because it's not. At the weekend, he lost to Canadian Matt Campbell, and in the process, lost 6-4, averaged just shy of 105. So he sort of walked off scratching his head, and I'm like, I feel it, mate. It's just one of those at the moment. If it wasn't for bad luck, he'd get no luck at all.
Well, the stupid thing about those numbers are, the one when Bunty averaged under 100, Littler averaged 107.59. Bunting beats him 7-6 in the semi-final of the Dutch Darts Masters. So when he's played even better than that, he just hasn't been able to get over the top of him. They've met 4 times, this is their 4th meeting in the Premier League, 2-1 in favour of Luke Littler. Littler, who's picking and choosing, as we keep saying about these European Tour events. They're coming thick and fast. There's another one coming up at the weekend, but he's picking and choosing, isn't he? Are you surprised at that, given how far clear he is in the Premier League, or would you have expected him to play a bit more?
No, I think he's doing it right. He was up in Scotland doing a series of exhibitions this weekend, which he would have been paid a staggering amount of money. If you're going to miss a tournament, ones like Graz that are, like we always say, and we travel with the players. It's not. I mean, the playing the darts is exhausting. If you make the final day, you've got multiple matches on that day. It's the travelling that really takes out of you. Hanging around airports, going to different terminals, getting on a plane. Your sleep's disturbed. You're staying in hotel rooms, and the beds might not be to your liking, and all those things. They're a telling factor. And I think stepping away from exhibitions are vastly different to playing in tournaments or playing in the Premier League. And I just think for him it's to reconnect with the people, because he'd have been felt quite sort of separated from normality for the last couple of months while this Premier League campaign has been underway. So I'm sort of double-sided with it. You hear a lot of them go, "I'm tired," and then you find out, well, you're knackered, but you've just played the Premier League, jumped on a flight to Scotland, and playing doing 3-4 exhibitions over the weekend, flying home on the Monday to fly back or to travel to Birmingham on the Wednesday. So, but I suppose you've got to strike while the iron's hot, and there's sort of pros and I'm sort of pro some things and against others. Just it's one of those. I think the players need to rest, but whilst resting, going off and doing exhibitions, you ain't getting no rest. Yeah, it's like those Premier League football clubs that don't want FA Cup replays, but they're happy to go to Hong Kong or wherever. Go to Australia and take the team, drag the team across Australia.
Okay, fair enough. Bunting, look, I know we're deep into the tournament now. There was a lot of conjecture of him being involved. He's won his first World Series of Darts event earlier in the year. He got picked in the Premier League. He's since gone on and won his first European Tour event. He has won a weekly round, but he struggled, not numbers-wise, but results-wise. Do you feel his inclusion, do you feel any better or worse about it now with 12 rounds down the line? No,
I don't think he's been out of his depth, because the numbers would tell us that. I just think once you're playing amongst the elite in this format, you just don't get away with a poor performance, and he's not had any. It's just been the level is, where before you might get a second bite of the cherry and they, might miss a dart or double on the pro tour. That might happen from time to time. On the European tour, where you're not playing against the top players game after game after game until you reach potentially the last 16 or the quarterfinals. You know, I'm just looking at his overall numbers. So he lost the weekend to Campbell in the last 32 with 104.54. The week before in the Premier League, probably his worst performance, and that was off the back of winning a night, and he averaged 91. Then 97 defeat to Dobey, 108.43 losing to Littler 6-5, 99.76 beating MVG, 105 against Humphries, and he got pumped 6-1. Aspinall 100.19, 165. One against Humphries 7-6 with 102. You know,
yes,
there's no evidence there. You know, even though he's getting beat, that he's not good enough to be in this company, because he is. Listen, like you say, his title wins this year, a World Series, a European Tour, a night at the Premier League. The night at the Premier League, coming off all them defeats, shows you the character of the man, and shows you he was right to be selected.
Yeah, and I think right back when we interviewed Matt Porter on the eve of the final at the World Championship, he said it takes a certain type of character to play in this competition. We need to know people can go up there and hold their own. I think he has done. The results, like you said, maybe not quite back that up, but the numbers probably have. And
he's up. I think he's up to number 4 in the.
Yeah, well, that was going to bring me on to my next point, because, all right, they were picked, the top 4 automatically in, but if the Premier League was picked now, it'd be Rob Cross, wouldn't it? He'd be looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, looking for a wild
card. He's not had a weekly win, just 7 wins in 12 rounds of darts. Not enough, is it?
No, nowhere near enough. But he's another one, I suppose, you could look at and say, well, you know, does his performance levels match the results? And I'd probably say no. You know, like I said, he's got a higher average, tournament average, in terms of Premier League than most. It's only Littler and Humphries that got a higher tournament average.
Well, we're getting ready for the players to come out there. The order of play tonight: Luke Littler takes on Stephen Bunting, Nathan Aspinall, Chris Dobey, Luke Humphries against Gerwyn Price, Rob Cross against Michael Van Gerwen, Mark Wilson, Chris Mason, Chris Murphy with you throughout the night here tonight. And it is top against bottom. Luke Littler, 30 points, 4 nightly wins already for him. He's won 18 games more than anybody else, sits proudly at the top of the table. For Bunting, just a 5 matches won, but has got a nightly win to his name. He's on 8 points. So the winner of this one will take on the winner of game 2, Nathan Aspinall, Chris Dobey, in the semi-final. So an interesting matchup tonight in terms of the fixtures. It could well be a pivotal night, but should we get wins maybe for Rob Cross or Michael Van Gerwen and Dobey and Bunting? It can all change again. It's still all in the balance.
Yeah, and these are so hard to pick. You have to go back to, I think it's night 4. Let me just double check. 4 nights ago, for when Littler last won a night. You know, although he started very well, since then he's lost to Dobey 6-2, average 93. Lost to Humphries 6-4 with a 98 in a semi. Just beat Rob Cross 6-5, and then lost to Bunting with 101, fair enough. And then lost in the opening game to MBG 6-5. So, you know, he's not exactly pulling up trees in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah.
He's only got a couple of wins to his name, despite having the highest tournament average.
Yeah, well, let's find out how they get on then. 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals and a final. You know the drill by now here on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. You can get involved in the comments. So we're here all the way through to the finals at the O2 in London on the 29th of May. So not too far away now. Towards the end of this month, we will know who will be the Premier League champion in 2025. Who you fancy tonight? Let's go through the 4 games then, Chris. We'll start off with our opener, Littler against Bunting. Where are you going?
Oh, if Bunting plays as well as he did at the weekend, he may pull off a bit of a surprise, but I think it's hard to look past Littler, and by all accounts his form up in Scotland was outstanding at times, so I'm just going to side with Littler, only just though.
Okay, Aspinall against Dobey.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Dobey, played okay the weekend. Nathan's just come back from Spain late yesterday, I think, so he may be a little bit laggy. Not jet lagged, of course, I'm just laggy in terms of how he's going to be feeling.
He'll have had a relaxing few days, Chris, you know that. Luke Humphries against Gerwyn Price.
I thought Price the other week was outstanding, tournament average in excess of 105, but he's another one that's managed or struggled to replicate performances, so I'm going Humphries.
And the final game, Cross against Van Gerwen.
I'm going Cross.
Yeah, right, let's get down to our MC then. John McDonald introducing the players onto the stage for game 1 of night 13, the Premier League of Darts.
Premier League. It's all brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the International Darts Open, the reigning Bahrain Darts Master, a two-time World Championship semi-finalist, the winner on the leg side, and the former Masters champion, that is the Bullet,
Stephen Bunting making his way up onto the stage here, getting near do or die for his Premier League hopes, but confidence high on the back of a recent win on the European Tour. And a crowd favourite, that is for sure. I wonder how many times he sings this a year.
Yeah, I wonder if he's getting a share of the royalties. Also, welcome along to those of you joining us on our talkSPORT YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed, please hit that button. And don't forget to give us a like as well. And hit that bell for an alert every time we go live.
The winner of 14 PDC titles, the reigning UK Open champion, the reigning Grand Slam champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning and defending Premier League champion, and the reigning champion of the world.
Luke Littler posing for photographs, signing autographs on his way up onto the stage. The world champion, the defending Premier League champion as well. Looks like he means business tonight. He knows who up against it. We mentioned that styles make fights. Well, the numbers between these two, astronomical. Warm embrace between the two, both from the northwest of England. But who will prevail tonight? Winner of this one will make it through to the semi-finals, and they will take on the winner of Aspinall or Dobey. It looks on paper, when you look at the league table, that the Nuke is in for a pretty straightforward night, but darts doesn't always work like that, does it?
No, and they haven't for the last however many nights. I mentioned the last time we got a win here, or a win in the Premier League in terms of winning a night. Sits at the top of the table, but work to be done in terms of winning another night before the playoffs. Overall head-to-head between the two, it's tight. It's only 4-3 in favour of Littler. And Bunty will, well, he'll still be buzzing from his nightly win and success this year. And like I said, he played very, very well over in Graz at the weekend. Just walked into an inspired Matt Campbell.
Yeah, he did indeed. Who will prevail then here tonight? I think that's you for your weekly win. Are you going for the weekly win?
I'm going Humphries.
You're going Luke Humphries, are you? Interesting.
There's no science behind that.
There generally never is, isn't it, Chris?
You know, you just got to get a feeling. I've had a look at his numbers coming into it and his potential strike rate, and I just think he's going to come into this with a point to prove, as is Littler, of course. Like I said, he's playing well enough, but himself is looking for results.
Yeah, you mentioned he didn't go to Graz at the weekend. He was beaten in the semi-finals of the previous European Tour in Munich. Jan van Veen served him up a bit of a beating, didn't he, in the semi-finals? So he's a man that's used to winning, and it is Littler with a throws up with 97 and a straight ton for Bunting.
If you do have any questions in the YouTube chat for myself, Mark, or Chris Murphy, who will be joining us in the next match, keep them civil and sensible, and we'll endeavour to answer any questions you have. Ooh. First Max.
Looked pretty ominous from Bunting, that, didn't it? First one went in, and they just seemed to align the stars, and he pops it in. Well, Bunting's down a 2-2-1 here. Salutes the crowd as well. Wants to get them on side in Birmingham, and he's taken the darts off Luke Littler here. 78 in front plus this visit, and he whacks in another ton. He's down to 1-2-1.
Yeah, and you rightly said these two produce big numbers. That tells me they both enjoy the tempo of the match. They're both quick, suits both, they both get on with it. And Bunty will have no fear playing Littler because he's had success against him.
He has. Ooh, he hit the outer ball to leave 96, then it's big one. And then finds a big dart with his last one to take him down to 35. Littler's on 240, so a mile away here.
Yeah, still a mile away. Down to 140, 35 for Bunty for a break, a throw, and a one-leg lead. And these matches are very much a sprint, these matches nowadays, a race to 6. And it is a lovely leg from Bunty.
He'll be very pleased with that. The max in there as well. A bit of a raise of the eyebrows from the world champ, but Bunting breaks early on. And it is a break of throw. Race to 6 as ever in the Premier League for a spot in the next round. And Bunting, having broken the throw, now got to make sure he holds on to it. Although that is easier said than done when the Premier League champion opens up with a max.
Both at it. It's flown by this year's Premier League, hasn't it?
I'm just thinking that really. It's, like I said, we're on week 13. We are in the final sprint now. They're looking almost for a perfect leg. It wasn't to be for Littler, but from his point of view now, he's taken the darts off Bunting here. Although 140 leaves him on the big fish.
Yeah, Littler's main concern is getting that break back. Oh, you called it. You usually call me Mystic Mace. I have to find something that rhymes with Mark. Mystic Mark.
10 out of 10 for originality. Can he? Well, he's left it. Can he reel it in? That's what we all want to know. We might do. Oh, just a flick of the wire too low, but Littler's left the big fish as well.
And he started the leg with a max. Can't bookend it with a 170. And only 40. No pressure on the 65.
Out of bull and tops. Would be the route. Oh, he hits the bull smack bang in the middle. Double 4 then after single 7. And he gets there in end. He literally couldn't have put that bullseye anymore in the middle if he'd have walked up to the board and done it. But he consolidates the break. He leads 2-0.
Well, it's what you're aiming at, so shouldn't be any surprise. Strong start to the leg again by Littler with 2 treble 20s and then a bit of a deflection. Bunty will be growing in confidence, and there's evidence.
He's making a good old start. Another maximum.
90.
Littler here is very much on the back foot. 286 Littler, Bunting 3-2-1, but Bunting is 2-0 up. That's a bad dart for him. It's just under the treble 20 bed. He's going to try and crowbar one over it. I think he's going to go for cover. He doesn't find it.
He's trying the Humphries shot. Where he does that, he can just almost sort of bend the dart around what looks to us like an absolute blocker. 180s in the Premier League. I must find out what the 180 record is, because surely he's nailed on to beat it.
He's on 129, Luke Littler, and a still 3 more nights to go, plus the finals. Bunting here, oh, that's not a bad last start. Again, he hits the ball, and again he's left 170. And Littler, who started the leg, is on 254. Now he's in the red bit.
I don't have that 180 stat in my notes, but I know a man who will. Make that 130 180s in the Premier League.
Yeah, 2 apiece tonight. 170 then for a 3-0 lead. Can't get the first one going, so Littler's coming back for 74. What will Bunting leave here? 110.
Yeah, still a bit to do.
That made it awkward, didn't it? Single 1, single 11.
Well, he went up for that 54 before, didn't he? And it was almost in the same hole as that one. Not quite got the range on the treble 18, an area he's usually absolutely mustard of.
Yeah, and had he hit the single, it would have been single to double. Yeah. 110 for Bunting. Oh, he's in the treble. He's going to get a shot. He's going to get a shot at double 16 for a 3-0 lead, and he is the width of a wire away.
There's pressure on this.
Pressure? What pressure?
Oh, Littler's response is pressure is the tiles.
Well, what you would say, Chris, the finest of fine margins. Bunting had a dart for 3-0, and it wasn't a bad dart, it just didn't go in the target. But is that going to be a pivotal moment in this match?
Could well be.
95.
Bunting with the throw here, leads 2-1. He's 2 from 3 on the outer board. He's only missed that 1 dart at double 16.
Well, all Bunting will be thinking about now is, right, just hold. Just hold. Again, against this talent, easier said than done, but this talent is averaging mid-80s.
100.
Yeah, Bunting averaging over 102. Want to just keep that break between them.
Yes.
Obviously, the longer he does that, the more likely he is to win the match.
And the thing is, if he keeps holding, he'll keep gapping, and there'll be that 2-leg gap, and the pressure will mount on Littler. He's only a break behind, but it'll feel like a lot more.
Yeah.
73.
Break behind at 2-1's not bad. A break behind at 5-4 is entirely different, isn't it?
Correct. And he's in control of this leg.
57.
Well, that was poor. Didn't scare any of the trebles.
No.
I'm amazed he started 2-3-3 on the 60. Normally, especially Littler, he would be going for a minimum of 7-19s to leave a 2-darter.
Yeah, well, he's left 104, Bunting on 110. Got to the double last. Oh, he's hit the treble again. Double 18 again. This time, can he take out the double 16? Yes, he can. That is brilliant from Bunting. He leads by 3 legs to 1. And he is starting to really crank up the pressure on Luke Littler here. But that was a big statement finish there.
Could well be 4-0, Wills. He did have that dart on the back of, was it 108, wasn't it?
100, same finish, 110.
110, yes.
Yeah,
was,
same
yeah.
finish, yeah.
55.
I want to say he's struggling a bit, Luke Littler, but he's not quite on it at the minute, is he?
Nope.
Look, I always say, however good these guys are, you do get chances against them. It's whether you're good enough to take them.
Yeah, listen, I haven't seen Bunting over the weekend play. Listen, the form's there, the numbers are there, which is why, I picked Littler, but with trepidation.
Yeah, plenty watching along tonight on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube page. You can like and subscribe if you would. Get involved with the comments. As Chris said, got any questions, get them fired in. Bunting on 306, Littler on 250. Bunting at the hockey now. Is it a treble? Ooh, that was
Needed
a
another.
last start.
Yeah, needed another to leave a finish. He's leading 3-1 down to 2-2-2. 250 for Littler.
56.
Well, you're going all Richie Benno on us there. Well, Bunting here, even if he gets a ton, he's going to be first in at a finish. Ooh, now he's got to be careful. He's got to change. And he did, because the treble 20 would have left him on 162. Didn't get the treble. Feels like the chance might have gone.
94.
It's 94 to leave 100, so a 2-dart opportunity for Littler. Bunting wants 164. 2 treble 19s and ball.
Yeah, that's the way, surely. Or is it big 3? So that ends that particular hope. And Luke Littler coming back with Bunting on 1-2-1. Littler needs a ton. There's the treble. Now he needs the double. Now he needs 2 10s. Just a leg in it. Might not be playing well, Luke Littler, but he's not letting Stephen Bunting too far out of his sight at the moment.
Yeah, with that constant fending off Bunting and then trying to close the gap, will take its toll.
You're all right there, sir.
Yeah, I've got.
You've got a wonky white. We'll get
the technical department.
Yeah. Either that or shout at producer Matt. He'll sort
get the soldering iron out.
Yeah. Not sure I trust you with the soldering iron. I don't know about that. 3-6-1 Bunty. Is it 80 from here? So now a 2-8-1 less this dart. Oh, great last dart there. He's down to 2-2-1. He's 200 clear of Littler. It's been a great atmosphere, hasn't it, the Premier League, wherever it's been this year. It seems to get bigger and better.
Yeah, listen, I'd like to. I like this format, but I'd like it in the last 4 weeks. So I'd have 12 weeks of 12 players, so 6 matches a night, home and away basis. And then after the 12 weeks, the bottom 4 drop out, and we go to this format for the final 4 weeks of the playoffs.
Okay.
And I think that just gives us more variety. But I do like this because the players get to see a winner.
Yeah, the fans get to see
a winner every week.
Yeah. Well, Bunting's on 184. Littler's just had a dart fall out of the board. He's on 204. 83 scored Bunting. Max would be nice here for Littler, wouldn't it? Ooh, no.
It almost needed.
Yeah. Single 5.
Stray ones tonight.
Well, this for 4-2 then. 101. Needs a treble to start. Not necessarily that he gets one first dart. Now he needs one. He's hit the wrong one. Treble 7. Well, he's left 20. 1-2-2. Littler, single 18. Now has got to get the treble to leave a shot at the ball. Gets it. Bullseye for 3-3.
This is big.
Out of nowhere. Ooh, that was nowhere.
He lives closer.
A chance for Bunting for 4-2. He's holding his nerve, the bullet. So far, so good.
Keeps going back to that 2-leg gap, and now Littler's really under it. A break here would be an absolute disaster.
Yeah. Well, a win for Bunting, who starts the night top of the pile. Would put him within 7 points. If he just wins this game, he'd be within 7. But the problem is the players in front of him have all got a game to try and pull away again. But more importantly, he would have 2 points and a possibility of getting some more. Young Littler fan there, look. Look at his dad watching the darts. Brilliant.
Yeah, I've certainly seen more youngsters attending darts events.
85.
Austria at the weekend. The venue it held 2,200, and it was at capacity from Friday night onwards. And it's right in the middle of nowhere in Austria.
Yeah, they are. The European tour is amazing. I say a lot of people who, friends that I know, they all want tickets for the big event. They're hard to get.
Yeah, go to a European tour.
Try and go on a European tour. You want to go away for a couple of days, they will love it. Littler in control of leg 7. He's got a possible 164. He didn't need to go for it. He went for treble 18. It's 78 in the end, but Bunting's a mile away here. He's on 314.
If you do the Belgium European tour, you can get the Eurostar or drive over. Get on the ferry. Group of you. Bit of a jolly up weekend. It is great fun.
86 end to move back within 1. Single 18 hit. Treble 16 hit. And the double 10 hit as well. 86 raises his fist to the crowd. Says, come on. He is still only 1 break behind.
Ton from Bunty leads 4-3 in legs, a race to 6. Starts with a ton, down to 401. The early break against Littler, and then just maintained it since then.
Well, it's interesting, I mean, you say that, you go back to that Dutch Darts Masters on the World Series, Bunting won 7-6 and Littler 107.59 was at him all the way through, but Bunting, I think on that occasion, had the throw and just held him off all the way through, so he's used to this, used to this.
He's going to be under it in this leg. 366 minus a max. The first sign of aggression from Littler. Both players now averaging 92.78 Bunting at 92.86 Littler. Littler down to 186, 301 Bunting. Treble 20 is found, only a ton.
So he's lost the darts here, and he's in a bit of trouble. And this for a level game now. 186 required, hits 140. So he'll be back for 46. Nothing Bunting can do from 201. Can he apply an ounce, a degree of pressure? Well, there's one treble 19. And there's another to go alongside it. Well, he's asked the question.
Does Littler have the answer? He certainly does. Pins it in 2 darts, single 6 tops, 4-4, back on throw. And look to the heavens from Bunting.
Yeah. Best of 3 then it'll be for a place in round 2.
Question here, in the future, do you reckon talkSPORT will try to get commentary on the European tours?
Let's just put it this way. Chris and I'll be the first to put our hands up to do it.
Absolutely.
We'll negotiate the wages after.
Yeah, that's secondary.
I think even Big Al in Brazil would come with us for those. Well, it's 140, 140, 140. Start of leg 9. 4-4 race to 6. Place in the semi-finals at stake. Littler top of the pile. Bunting at the bottom and running out of opportunities. And he might be running out of time here. And it's going to be one of those where he's not really done an awful lot wrong. Missed that dart for 3-0. Other than that, he's not missed anything.
No, he's sort of just got off the ball, and Littler's found an extra gear, but that's what champions do. 86 for Littler to lead 5-4 after trailing throughout the game so far. 211 Bunting, so no pressure. And again, he's gone for a treble 18 and hit a single 1. The recovery dart is outstanding. He's left 85 and he's gone 51 for double 17. He's shaking his head. He's a miscount. He's human.
He is.
He can't
just go for it. Is he going to go for it? He's not going to do it, is he? He's not going to do it. Go on, go for it. Yeah, that's the way. If you're going to leave it, you're going to hit it. 5-4.
I think he thought he had 75. Well, the only conclusion is he thinks he had 75 left. So he does lead 5-4. First time he's had his nose in front in the whole match. Bunty starts with a 140.
Yeah, just got to take it to a 10th leg now. Oh, from the, I'm going to say, you mentioned earlier, Littler was averaging 82 earlier on. In the last, 3 legs, he's averaged 117.
Yeah, he's found a gear, hasn't he? At the moment, he's in a different gear.
Yes.
Started with 96, 140 and a ton for Bunty, down to 261. Littler, 2 treble 20s, make it 3.
4th max for Littler, who is 2 visits away from a place in the semi-finals. What happened there was
a whistle.
He just moves away from the hockey. He's got to get this right. Well, that's a good second dart. He's going to get down to a finish. He's getting down to 1-2-1. He'll get a go at it as well.
May have to go. Oh, Littler's just underneath the treble. Runs for cover. Misses the treble 19. And he's left 170.
That was the safest of single 16s to leave the big fish. Will he get a look at it though? Well, he's hit the outer bull, so it's treble 20. Can't find it, so Littler will get a go to win the match at 170.
Treble 20s and the bull. There's one of them. There's another. Oh, just misses north. One match dart has come and gone for Littler, but it is at the smallest double on the board.
Yeah, 56 then. Single 16. Right in the heart of it. Tops for a level match. And Bunting takes us to a decider. It's 5-5 here. Winner of this leg goes through to the semi-finals. Luke Littler has the throw.
Yeah, we just got a shot on our screens of Stephen Bunting's son, Tobias, celebrating and saying, "Come on, Dad." He's actually a tidy little player himself, his son.
Is he?
Love to follow in his father's footsteps, I'm sure. 97 start for Littler, ton for Bunting.
He'd be disappointed because that first start was high in the bed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was plump. Single 20, treble 20. Oh, horrible deflection into the 5.
Chance, 319 Littler. Bunting on 401. Bunting is smashing that top wire but can't get one in it, and only 60. Only 60.
Case there, he could have come for 19s or 17s. Wild dart in the small 5 for Littler. He's feeling this. Eventually finds a treble 20 after a single 19. Down to 2-3-5. 5-5 the score. Bunty at the hockey from 3-4-1. Needs a max.
Yeah, get him down to a finish. Way below the target. Can't find the treble 19. Does with the second dart. He's clinging on here, but at the moment he's going to rely on Bunting missing, isn't he?
25, treble 20, treble 20. 145 to leave 90.
The 245 for Bunting. Similar shot wouldn't be the worst outcome. In fact, I think he'd take the 145 now, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
He might get better than that. Oh, that's bounced out of the 60.
You can see the hole it's left in the...
Yeah, that was in the 60 and out of the 60. And he's had to leave the big fish. That is cruel.
Well,
So cruel.
May see 2 bull attempts here, unless he finds the treble 20 off 90. Single 20. Finds the treble, double 5.
Another match start has been and gone. Right, Bunting left the big fish to win it, having had that cruel bounce out. Littler's had 2 darts for the match. Bunting composes himself. Littler says he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Is he going to do it? Come on, Bunting. Oh, the click of the wire. That bounce out is going to be costly.
Yeah, well...
And he hits the bull as well to leave tops.
Double 5 for Littler for 6-5. And he finds it in dart 1. Well, I said, and the reason I thought it was going to be close because of the form they've shown against each other, and it couldn't have been any closer. Bunty waiting on tops, didn't get a go. Littler through to the semi-final. Bunty, another disappointing Premier League night.
Yeah, not his best performance. 95.25 for Bunting, 98.11 for Luke Littler, who missed a couple of match darts. Bunting, that bounce out at the end, the cruelest of blows. Littler goes through. Aspinall against Dobey is up next. That's with Chris Murphy and Chris Mason. Still to come, Luke Humphries and Gerwyn Price, Rob Cross and Michael Van Gerwen. When it comes to the Darts Premier League, the last thing you want is an online mishap throwing you off your game. That's where NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro steps up to the hockey. Think of it as your personal referee, keeping dodgy websites, malware and phishing scams from sneaking into your setup. It even blocks those pesky ads so you won't get distracted mid-leg. Go to nordvpn.com/dartsvpn and get 2 years plus 4 months free and a birthday deal as well. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Mason Murphy will take you through Nathan Aspinall and Chris Dobey. They take on Luke Littler in the semi-final. Luke Littler's beaten Bunting by 6 legs to 5.